games. It's NIU Guankai to serve. Each game to 11 points. First player 2 points clear. Now, of course, yesterday NIU Guankai was almost down and out. He was playing Anju Yan in the quarterfinals. He was 3-1 down and 3-7 down and came through. And Truls MOREGARD, I mean, he had the same problem, but his problem was a day earlier, 2 days ago, in the first round of the boys' singles event. He was 8-5 down in the 7th to the Frenchman, Leo Denord-Drest, came through and won. So both have been living life on the knife edge. Oh, certainly Truls MOREGARD has livened this crowd. There's somebody to cheer for. And I would suggest to Mr. MOREGARD, don't play too many balls towards the backhand of NIU Guankai. It's as smooth as a Rolls Royce in overdrive. Absolutely purring like a Daimler. Goes well. So, Sweden makes the better start, leading 5-2. Just goes long. And certainly, Truls MOREGARD's come out, all guns blazing. Very, very dominant, very quick on the first attack. Most certainly a talented young man. Goes long, so 7-3. Oops. Just been caught in two minds there. But, certainly Truls MOREGARD is hustling NIU Guankai out of this first game. But I get the impression NIU Guankai have a very resolute character. Service changes, Truls MOREGARD serving, and he's ahead at 9-5. Just a little rushed. Oh, pick the bones out of that one. That was sheer quality, and it gives Truls MOREGARD 4 game points as NIU Guankai serves. Net service. Game point saved. And perhaps just a little impetuous, but that stroke you saw there, the backhand punch playing very, very fast. For sure, yesterday against Xu Haidong, it was most effective. 10-8. 10-9. That's what? That's 3 game points saved. And again, that's a bit rushed. That's just a little impetuous. Level at 10-all. Now, NIU Guankai has been very, very safe on this first attack. Put the ball on the tennis table with a lot of topspin, whereas MOREGARD has rather gone for glory. And now it's game point to NIU Guankai. Whoa! Dear me, that is brave. 11-all. Alternate serves. Now, game point to Truls MOREGARD. Now, will he serve and go for broke? Just a little fortunate, but it is the first game. The first game goes 13-11 to Truls MOREGARD. In fact, I think he had 4 game points and then he had to save 1 game point with that, well, quite ridiculous forehand. But, well, credit to him. Be brave when the pressure mounts, and you have to say that he was. But NIU Guankai tends to be the safer player. Maybe Truls MOREGARD is the more exciting. And we mentioned the ITTF World Cadet Challenge in earlier this year. World Cadet Challenge staged in Fiji. Then NIU Guankai won the boys singles title, whilst in Sharm el Sheikh in 2015, Truls MOREGARD was the runner-up. He lost to Yang Xiao in the final from China. Yang Shuo, should I say. So here we go, start of the second game. Truls MOREGARD serving. NIU Guankai in very, very quickly. Ho, ho, ho. Take the ball early. Oh, that is absolutely outstanding. The Apps gave NIU Guankai no time whatsoever. Or shall we say Mr. MOREGARD plays at high risk. NIU Guankai, the much safer player, he leads 3-1. Oh, 3-all. Well, certainly Truls MOREGARD is value for his money. So NIU Guankai serving. NIU Guankai now 2 points to the good as MOREGARD's turn to serve. Very, very quick to attack. Oh, absolutely top class. Whilst we see some absolutely scintillating play from Truls MOREGARD, is it balanced by the same number of errors? Passages in play when maybe the concentration just wanders a little in his eagerness. So here he goes, he's serving 4-8 down. He's certainly giving NIU Guankai no peace whatsoever. Well, that was better. The first attack was safe, a lot of spin on the ball, and then he was able to seize the advantage. I would recommend that is a better tactic. So NIU Guankai serving and he's leading 8-6. 9-6. Well, I just feel at times Mr. MOREGARD, this high risk policy might be his downfall. I think that just touched. So that takes the score to 10-6 and to 4 game points in favour of NIU Guankai. One game point saved. We have a timeout taken by NIU Guankai. He's not taking any risks whatsoever. I think that at 10-7, well, make sure you get the timeout in the table tennis match, but that just surprised me a little bit. It taken very, very early indeed. I must say I'm in favour of timeouts being taken when your player has the lead, but 10-7 is playing against an adversary who goes for broke, whereas NIU Guankai is very, very safe, very secure. But let us see what happens. And Japan there all together. Here we go. 7-10. So the service will now change. 10-8 in favour of NIU Guankai, and NIU Guankai with the potential sequence of 2 serves to come. Well, I wonder if China may rule that timeout. Both points have been lost, so it's 10-9. NIU Guankai serving. And Truls MOREGARD equal to the task. Now this is quite a reversal of the previous game where Truls MOREGARD had a 10-6 lead and eventually won, let me see, 13-11. Oh, he's missed it. This time the 10-6 lead is in favour of NIU Guankai. They're now back at 10-10 and now at 11-10. Well, slightly weak return of service from Truls MOREGARD. And as the vocals from NIU Guankai suggest, he took the second game. He's taken the second game 12-10. Well, there we are. First game, one player's a 10-16, back to 10-10, and exactly the same happens in the second game. Bar of chocolate. Both games decided by the minimal margin. Peter Blomqvist stressing the situation, stressing what he must do. And I would suggest he doesn't play backhand to backhand with NIU Guankai. He changes direction. NIU Guankai, of course, has a high quality forehand, but for me, strength is from the backhand. But maybe the message is just simple: be positive. So here we go. We're at one game apiece. Best of 7 games, of course. We have NIU Guankai serving. Now I know that he made a mistake there, NIU Guankai, but that's his strength. Oh, recovery. He's rushing. Just rushing a little bit in his exuberance. So, strange things happening, but 2-3. That is some reply from NIU Guankai. Reaction block. Stake on the return of service. Was this young man 2 years ago? Was the Asian Cadet Boys Singles Champion. Beat a certain Japanese player, Tomokazu Harimoto, in the final. Another one coming back. And again. Oh, not quite. Very, very fast with forehand topspin. Well directed forehand into the middle. score is actually 5-6. Now the score moves to 5-7. Choose MOREGARD asserting his authority. Now leads 8-5. You keep your eyes open, you can't play from memory. So, NIU Guankai to receive service. Yeah, it will be MOREGARD serving, and he's serving leading 8-6. 9-6. Now, same as the previous two games, we're at 10-6. The previous two games, the players come back. Not this time. So, Truls at MOREGARD, he takes the third game 11-6. And he was on fire, wasn't he? So, advice from the Swedish coach, Peter Blomqvist. Absorb the advice, go and do same again, young man. Surely the word from the Nordic camp. And very, very intense words from Yu Zhongjin. Not a coach that I know. Always fighting for the point. But just too long. Or should I say too wide. So here we go, start of the fourth game. Choose MOREGARD serving, he leads by 2-1. Innovation. So there we see from the commentary position. He's trying to get in very, very quickly. For sure he takes no prisoners. NIU Guankai now 4-1 ahead. Fast attack to the middle, successful. Strong first backhand over the table. That, for me, is one of the strengths of NIU Guankai, most certainly. And there again, the backhand is very, very, very fluent, very, very smooth indeed from NIU Guankai. Very, very impressed with him. And the fact is that he tends to be safe when he plays, and I'm sure those who select Chinese national teams will take that very, very much into consideration. The level dipped a bit. So it's NIU Guankai serving. He's leading 8-3. 8-4. Service changes. Now, a backhand topspin played down the parallel. That for me is absolutely textbook technique. Early timing on the table tennis ball. There we see it again. That's his strength. Keep fishing. Keep fishing. Get it back. Oh. When the back from the table, keep the play down the backhand, not down the forehand. And success. So we're at 10-4 in favour of NIU Guankai, and now we are in fact at 11-4 in his favour. So we are now 2 games each. And Truls MOREGARD, yeah, he's one exciting player to watch, but this young man, NIU Guankai, is very safe, very secure. And I'm thinking of Chinese players you take at the moment, something like Fan Zhendong. I mean, there is nobody better at putting the ball on the table, one more stroke than the opponent, and of course that is the very essence of table tennis. There we are, the Japanese girls here in force all come to support Mayu Kato. She'll be on next. That's perfection. And there comes fishing away, getting the ball back. Thank you very much. Members of the Chinese boys team. So away we go. Absolute parity after 4 games, and it's NIU Guankai serving. Now there I think that Truls MOREGARD should not have kept playing the ball to the backhand. He should have changed the direction. He was playing to NIU Guankai's strength. So seems that we lost the ball and have a new one. Well, he likes that backhand punch, does Truls MOREGARD, but of course when there is a lot of topspin put on the ball, as was the case there from NIU Guankai, it is a little risky. Truls MOREGARD has certainly got a lot of talent there now. It's honing that talent. Coach for the national team of Egypt. There, that backhand, that very fast, flat backhand, the ball, for want of a better phrase, punched. Very successful. Spin on the ball. It wins time and time again because the opponent has to guess the angle of the racket, play the ball fast, and it's just a reaction. So again we see the young ladies from Japan. So Truls MOREGARD serving, and he is trailing 4-6. Now 5-6. Good controlled return from NIU Guankai. Hesitation, hesitation. He who hesitates is lost. So more and more people coming in to watch the table tennis. Good to see. Good promotion for this region. A very, very good control from NIU Guankai. And again, this stresses the point that of the two players, NIU Guankai is the safer player. For sure, Truls MOREGARD is exciting, but I just feel that when crisis looms, I'm going to put my Colombian peso on this young man, NIU Guankai. And there we see this exquisite backhand. You find me better technique from the backhand than this young man has. Well, you're going to have to search for snow in the Sahara Desert. He doesn't need to keep punching the ball to the backhand. For me, that's not the right tactic from the Swede. It's 10-6. 10-6 in favour of NIU Guankai. And about to serve. And the ball has just clipped the edge, and let me give some credit there to Truls MOREGARD. He never queried that, and I must admit I wasn't 100% sure. So that is the fifth game in favour of NIU Guankai. He takes the fifth game 11-6, and he's moving now into a 3-2 lead. I really believe that this is a young man that we're going to hear a great deal about in the future. First ever World Championships back in 2003 when I went to Santiago. There Ma Long and Jan Jika played. Also for the women we had Li Xiaojia, the future world and Olympic champion. She played in 2003. Dear me, I wonder when we go 10 years hence what we'll be saying about these two young men. This young man, Truls MOREGARD, is exciting. Just, I think, maybe sometimes with him discretion is the better part of valour. Just at the left you can see Yuto Kizukori. He is the boy that Truls MOREGARD beat yesterday in round 3. NIU Guankai. I think coaches recommend that you time the ball early. My word, Truls MOREGARD. That is early timing. Well played, young man. Well played. The fact that Truls MOREGARD comes in so quickly, it kind of very much unsettled the rhythm of an opponent. Oh, there we are. He's here absolutely all guns blazing. He's 4-1 ahead. Ooh, deep breath, Mr. NIU Guankai. And then after been playing at absolutely top speed, now slight hesitation there. They're getting ready for the next match on court, which will be the women's singles, or I was going to say the girls singles semi-final. The reason I use the word women's is when we go to the Youth Olympic Games, the IOC insist we call them women and not girls. There we go, he's gone fishing. Ooh, well done. I'm not sure when you get the player back from the table, a bit dangerous to go down the forehand because they can counter topspin. I think much wiser keep the ball down the backhand. But that, shall we say, was accurate. Little hesitation from NIU Guankai. Peter Blomqvist on his feet. Coach is anxious. Served off. What a shame. So 5-4 ahead. Now 6-4. Oh my word, outstanding. Turns round, looks towards Peter Blomqvist there. How about that? Does that meet with your approval, sir? Excellent. Seized the opportunity quickly, and not the fact that he seized it quickly, the direction was absolutely perfect. Aiming that first topspin to the indecision point, the elbow of the playing arm of your opponent, where your opponent doesn't know whether to play forehand or backhand. The ball will come back down the middle of the table if it comes back at all. It'll come back slowly, it'll come back high. So it's just a fraction too long. Right, take a breath, we're at 8-5. Let service. And again. He just slapped at that NIU Guankai. I'm not sure if he played that forward with his eyes open. When you associate the Chinese with superb technique, that wasn't quite out of any textbook that I've ever read. Well, at the moment, in this game, MOREGARD has been absolutely outstanding. He now has 5 game points. And he needs only one of them. MOREGARD, he has taken the 6th game, 11-5. We're at 3 games all. So, I just wonder who's your money on. Is it on the young man who takes risks, who certainly gives value and has, my word, he's entertained this crowd? Or do you go for the other gentleman, NIU Guankai, Mr. Safety? It's a little pained expression on the coach's face. It's a Liu Zhongqi, I think. At some point, look at it, turns around, look at his coach. How about that? Oh, look at that forehand. I don't think that forehand came from the Beijing Academy. Now the crowd's warming to this young man. I think Riva Garda, it's up in the mountains, it's as cold as Stockholm, and I can assure you it nearly is, because I was in Stockholm 2 weeks ago and when I left it was minus. Here we go. Been very, very fast. And in again, and being able to match NIU Guankai on the short play, the touch play. Remember, NIU Guankai's already taken his time out. He does not have that option. Just a fraction hesitant. And now this young man is absolutely boiling. Look at the reaction when he wins the point. He keeps punching that backhand fast, giving NIU Guankai absolutely minimal time to react. One four. Well, that was the right thing to do, but did he just lose his technique a little? So, Truls MOREGARD serving at 4-2. He likes that backhand punch, for want of a better description, and it has proved very, very effective. Now, will it stand up under this pressure? Oh, it did there. And as the change ends, Truls MOREGARD leads 5-3. And I assure you that an almost full auditorium is absolutely engrossed with got people peering round the back of the tiered seating, wondering what is happening. Of course, a Chinese player losing, a Chinese player in trouble. Well, such is the might of that nation at table tennis that it's always headline news. Ooh, that was very, very, very hesitant. from NIU Guankai. And I'm wondering if the Chinese camp now, they are ruined the fact that they took that time out, which from memory I think was as early as the second game. And one Swede is absolutely now on fire. Ice school Swedes. Well, this guy isn't ice cool, he's quite the opposite. He's absolutely brimful of confidence at the moment. Now the score is 4-9. 5-9. So the service changes. Truls MOREGARD to serve. He's 9-5 ahead. (9-6), and I suspect he'll take a timeout. Yes. And I think that is very wise, because he just looks to me over those last 2 points as though he just lost a little momentum. Now, of course, there when we see him earlier in this game, he's absolutely boiling. There you see the movement, everything is positive. Momentum. It's quite a pain face on the face of our Chinese friend. Now, very, very difficult for players to be thinking about tactics at this stage of the sporting contest. Strong mind is needed. Oh, he's blitzing away. For match point. One saved. Two saved. I tell you, this crowd is absolutely enthralled, and they're all Swedish. They want to see more of this boy. They want to see him in the final. And he has absolutely made it. Look at that smile. I don't think he can really believe it. He started in the qualification tournament. Let's stress that fact. And he's through to the final. There we are. There's the salute. Well, he's absolutely endeared himself to this crowd. And the delighted Swedish camp. Well, my word, that is a turn up for the book. And of course, I think one thing that's in the crowd's mind is that we're not going to have an all Chinese final. We're going to have Sweden versus China. And let us go back to the late 1980s, the early 1990s. I mean, that was the classic encounter, Sweden versus China. My word.